official day vlog, like a real professional one. Hey, I feel like C-Bum. So welcome to one day out from the show. Saturday, tomorrow's game day. Got my man Brody with me today, and we are vlogging just a quick morning shoot. I've already had a meal. I've scoffed a meal down, but the second meal is going to be something that I'll just take with me in the car, and I'll have it before we train. So nothing exciting about any of these meals. It's just going to be chicken and rice. Fucking mind blowing, alright? But this morning I had chicken rice with banana, honey, and avocado. Super weird, but Broads knows what's up. Some people will get it. If you've ever had banana and avocado and honey together and you've been dieting for 27 weeks, it's fucking elite, alright? So that's so I saved a little bit of banana from the other meal to put into this meal. Potassiums, you know, all the B vitamins. So we're just gonna take this meal. We're gonna jump in the car. We're gonna cruise to where we're going, Goodger Street. Yep. There is a gym there that I've never been to before for a photo shoot. It's called Iron Industry. Looks really cool. We're gonna shoot with Mr. Nelson, the man behind the lens. So it's gonna be cool, and then pretty much just come back and I'm gonna kick back and chill. So yeah, this is like the most exciting thing I've had in days after depletion. So get that in you. Salt, and I'll probably put more salt on there when we get there. The most important part I think about this part is you've transitioned from doing like depletion calories next to like no carbohydrates and then not a lot of fiber to then a lot of carbohydrates and a shit ton of fiber, and your body can sort of go through this adjustment phase of like, oh, I need to go to the toilet, I'm not sure I need to go to the toilet. Not getting into that sort of stuff, but it's actually been really good because I don't know if I've done anything different, but I've been drinking a heap of tea, peppermint tea, ginger tea, and tummy tea. I put in some of my other vlogs. So T2, well done for keeping my digestion going, because I woke up this morning and I was like insanely shredded. Slept 9 hours, 10 hours, REM sleep, deep sleep. We got carbs, we got meals, we got vlogs, rice cakes. I'm a happy man. Let's just do this. Let's do it. We're almost there.
Let's do it, Wiggy.
I think the biggest thing with any fat loss journey, and like I've always said as well, you know, bodybuilding and doing preps like this, we're not special, nothing about it is special. There's no magic tricks, there's no drugs. It's just being consistently consistent with a sustainable approach for a long period of time. Now I've done 24 weeks of dieting consistently for 24 weeks. There hasn't been, like I just said to Brody, there's not been 3 bad weeks and then 1 good week backed up with. It doesn't work like that. The total progression or the total volume of time needs to consistently be good. You're always seeing results every week. I say to clients, like, think of them as like fortnightly results. If you have 2 solid weeks and then your 3rd week is a bad week, you're gonna need to back that up with a fortnight to get back what you've lost in a certain extent. So, you know, that's the secret, that's the magic trick. That is what separates people from changing, you know, their physique and their shape and doing amazing things next to, oh, I don't know why I'm not seeing results. It's because you're not being consistent enough. The same thing goes, I say and relate it always back to people who are in business or, you know, profit and loss and turnover and revenue. You know, if you're consistently making a certain amount each week as even an employee, if you earn $500 and $600 and then $300 and $500, you're still broke because the average has been so inconsistent. You're consuming calories under and over and under and over. You're never going to weigh the same because there's no consistency. So that's the magic trick behind long-term dieting and long-term success. I actually worked out I've lost like 14.5 kilos.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how that happens, but
no idea.
At least that's on my face.
Skeleton mode, I love it.
Skeleton mode. I might keep it around for a little while, I reckon. I talk about this heaps, hey, but I actually never really talked about it. It's funny that. So, wear my iWatch to track my steps, and then the biggest foundation for fat loss recently, obviously in the last few weeks, I've been religiously sleep tracking. Now, Oura Ring, it always changes, eh man, like there's different things out there all the time, but this is still hands down one of the most accurate tools for tracking sleep stats and the analytics that you get from your deep REM and your deep sleep. So over the last probably 2 months, I would have accurate stats of every night of sleep that I've had since starting prep. And I can show it actually, which would be really cool, because if I scroll back, you can see how much output and intensity I've had per day. And then I've come into the peak week and it's actually just plummeted. It's down to half. So I was doing 20,000 steps a day and now I'm doing half that. So it's going to track things like your REM sleep, your deep sleep, your HRV or heart rate variability, your resting heart rate, your blood temperatures and things like that. And what can be very useful is, even Coach Leo does it a lot, you know when you're starting to get sick, when your blood temperature starts to change, or you start sleeping hot at night time, and obviously your sleep stats start to plummet because obviously your body's fighting a sickness or a disease as such too. So yeah, that's been a really cool thing, a really cool tool, because I've been sleeping even 9-10 hours a night and tracking my deep sleep and REM sleep. My heart rate baseline will get down to as much as 35 beats at the moment. It's basically like I'm dead. So anything that can hold you accountable, look at this dickhead up here, Jesus Christ. Anything that can hold you accountable to looking at your health markers is going to be something that's going to be super beneficial to your results and your progress, because then you can go, all right, how many steps have I done? Checking your watch or checking your ring to see, you know, how you're looking. How was my sleep last night? Was it restful, or, you know, did I wake up feeling like dog shit, so you didn't sleep well? Then you use those health markers and you can alter them around your lifestyle, or alter them around what you've got going on, to try and improve on those patterns to make them work for you more and more and more. So every morning when I'd wake up, I'll look at my sleep to see how I went. If it's been fantastic, then I'll repeat the process. And like I've showed you guys in the last video, my sleep schedule, my sleep priming, and my sleep routine and rituals have all been so perfectly put together. It's a blessing for this week anyway, but they'll change when I go back to normal life. Like, it will change obviously, maybe back to 6-7 hours, but again, yeah, using things like an Oura Ring, there's lots of different, I don't know, items used for watches and things like that now, but yeah, the Oura Ring will be the most elite version of that. And again, anything that you can get stats on and analytics that are going to help you improve your health and your lifestyle, well, I would suggest going out and getting one.
What you don't see.
industry. Thanks guys for having me. Really cool, successful shoot with the man Nelson behind the lens. Got some cool shots. It's always hard, like you see people pose for pictures, and like you got your muscle magazines and your flex magazines and like really decent bodybuilders magazines. It's fucking hard work, and like bro, you know, when you're holding a pose and you'll say like flex, this is actually serious, and you're like holding a pose, it's like hold, squeeze, turn your shoulders, hold this, flex, you know. And girls, or if anyone's done this before, thank you so much. Thank you. It's hard, man, so I'm a little bit tired, but other than that I feel pretty good. So chicken and rice meals for the rest of the day, heaps of rice cakes. I've got like packets of rice cakes now. Sort of, we might go home and chat and shit, but there's not much more to do, eh? We're just kicking back. I'm really just hanging to get to the show tomorrow now. Like literally everything's done. Leo's starting to monitor how many carbs I'm actually taking in to make sure I'm like looking perfect, but got some really cool photos. Can't really show you, and yeah, successful day. I think it's been pretty cool. Go home and eat. It's yay. The only thing I forgot about was we will go back home and I get to wash this baby oil off, sexy, and just lightly wash off the tan because it's been soaking now for 28 hours, and then I'll reapply the tan again and way more on my face about midday today, and then I'll leave that tan on till tomorrow, and then we leave that tan on and we spray some more on Sunday morning before we head to the show. So should be like black and skinny. Lost my keys.
Back home in the car, so mate?
We got here, so that means that they're in here, but who knows where they are. This is more about like maybe a resilience that people need to learn to have, and then it takes like another whole level of resilience to be able to get through this bit as well. So what I mean is like dieting for a show is already hard work as it is, and unfortunately at some point in time when you're in a deficit or you want to try and change your body composition, you have to be hungry. And I really think it is a skill. It's a skill that takes resilience or practice or discipline or repetition to be able to get good at, because you're fucking hungry all the time. And people have said, you know, once they've started with me for a dieting phase, they're like, hey man, can I add an extra snack in because I'm hungry? And I'm kind of like, well, not yet, and no, because you need to be hungry. Like you need to be hungry to get shredded. You need to be hungry to change your body composition, right? There's that. And then there's getting through the depletion week, which I've officially done. And then guess what? Then you've got another level and another phase that happens, because now we're starting to eat carbohydrates and we're starting to throw more meals in. The hunger doesn't change. If anything, it's like heightened. You become hypersensitive to eating. So I've had 3 meals today of chicken and rice. I know it sounds boring, but it's actually delicious. And I was speaking to a mate this morning, and I just said before, and I've said to Brody, I'm ravenous. I'm absolutely ravenous. That's hungry that now you need to apply another level of discipline, because you're allowed to eat, but you still have to stick to the plan. You're allowed to eat, but you still have to stick to the food or the carbohydrates that are allocated for you. Because I mean, I could quite happily overeat the rice. I could quite happily eat a cheeseburger. Last night I cut up half of my cookie from the cookie mob for Luna. She had an Easter egg. She had like nuggets from McDonald's. She had half a watermelon. Like I could have eaten all of that and plus some, but then it takes this skill or this discipline to not do that, to binge on because I can now. Like, well, I can't yet. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So there's always a level of discipline that
requires a skill, and acquiring this skill takes practice, and it doesn't really ever change. And then after the show finishes, then guess what? You need to apply another skill, which was a reverse dieting phase. You know, we're going from very lean body composition to then no more goal, no more show. The show's over. You are allowed to eat what you want, technically. Then what happens? And I've done this many times before, where I've actually come off a show and gone like, YOLO! And I once put on 10 kilos in a week, bros.
Wow.
10 kilos in 1 week because not very good, no. Binged hard, just fucking, I was so ravenous. But again, this is why I truly think that flexible dieting is the key and is the king of sustainability, because none of what I've done, I've sacrificed. I've still had chocolate, I've had Beet Bix, I've had, you know, fruit, micronutrients, and covered a lot of sorts of things. So I do believe that flexible dieting is easier. People get ready for bodybuilding shows and they cut everything out. And what do you want? You want to stuff your face with tons and tons and tons of shit that you have not had. So yeah, it's acquisition of skill requiring discipline, and it does take time in the game to practice this skill. Because again, like, I've got 8 meals of chicken and rice to eat today, which is awesome, but I still need to hold myself back from wanting to eat any more, because tonight I'm going to be really hungry. And again, I've got a little bit of honey, a little bit of something sweet, but yeah, I think that's what life is. It's all about acquiring skills that turns you into a more resilient person, that enables you to overcome obstacles, overcome hurdles, and perhaps just be a mentally tough person.